Shalom everybody, this is Achi'ka Da'veed. Welcome back to the channel. Today what I put together for you is what we call the ancient Hebrew alphabet origins, the Lashon HaKodesh. Today we're going to be discussing where the root words come from. And what do I mean by roots? I mean a 2 to 3 letter consonant that gives you the background and the origin of where the word came from. So we've been covering the alphabet, and today we're going to cover the first 4 letters that we've already discussed. And I'm also want to talk about why it's important. Okay, so why is it important for this language? Well, because we need wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to fully understand this language, because we're reading the Torah and the Tanakh. And if we don't have these things, this is going to help you. You know, the language helps you with your wisdom, your knowledge, and understanding. It's not super spiritual. It's basically learning how to read. Okay. There's 3 other aspects to this that we need to talk about, and that is going to be the reading, the grammar, and the roots. Today we're discussing the roots. We're going to be talking more about the reading, and we're also going to get into grammar. The grammar is huge. As you've noticed in a lot of my videos, I talk about past tense, I talk about present tense, I talk about how these verbs are conjugated. If you don't understand this, then you won't understand what you're reading, and then it's going to be off or not. You know, English is not the language that the scrolls were written in. So let's begin talking about the first letter, which is the Aleph, okay? The origin of that word is called the Al. The Al is an original picture. They used pictures back in the ancient Hebrew to identify the letter that they were talking about. So this in particular letter is identified with a picture of an ox, which represents strength and power from work performed. This language is very agricultural, okay? The culture in which this language is written is agriculture. It has to do with things that you can actually see and touch. So let's take a look at what that looks like, okay? So the first letter is an aleph, but it comes from the word all. It means to teach. It means the chief, the leader, the guide. Very strong. I don't know if you know, but the ox is the strongest animal on the face of the planet. He could do the work that it needs to do. I mean, so much work it could do, right? And so this is what an aleph is. It's very strong, okay? I want to give you also a picture of what it looks like, okay? Again, the aleph is 2 different scripts. You know, one is a cursive, one is a print, okay? There's no difference. The meaning is still the same, all right? Let's go on to the bet. What does the bet mean? We talked about it many times before. The bet means the house or the tent or the dwelling of the family, okay? It's identified to talk about where the patriarch, such as in the house of Yaakov, or the house or the family where things were, you know, happening, where the family resided, where everything happens, where the development of the household, okay? The house that they lived in was completely different than the house that we're living in today. Now, would you like to live in a house like this? I wonder what the market value on that would be. Guess what? It'd be worth a lot, because there's a lot of goat hair. There's a lot of work that goes into it. It doesn't look that pretty, but guess what? It was functional. So a bed is something that's functional. It's a tent. It's a house. It's a dwelling. And we talked about the name of a son. A son is a bed. He's the one who continues to build the house. A daughter is a part of a house as well. She continues. She's part of that process. Okay. So what we have here is the actual letter bet. We got 2 different styles. One is a cursive style. One is a print style. That's basically all it is. There's no differences, okay? Still means a house, all right? The next letter we're going to talk about is the gam, which is, we get our word gamel, okay? So the gam means to gather together as a group of animals, you know, gathering to the water hole to drink. When I thought about this letter, I thought about when they were looking for a bride for Yitzchak. You know, they found Rivka, and she was watering some camels at a water hole, right? And so that kind of reminded me of that. And pretty much, you know, the camel represents the letter Gamel, okay? And it talks about foot, travel, walking, growth, development, you know. And I believe, too, that, you know, the word Gadol that I mentioned to you before, meaning to be great, great means that do you have something to help develop, you know? Do you have something to sustain yourself by yourself, right? So that's what the Gamel means. It means to develop. It means to wean. It means to become independent, okay? And again, the letter itself looks like something traveling. So again, we have the cursive and we have the print, which gives you both styles. It hasn't changed the meaning at all, okay? The next letter that we're going to be discussing is called the Dal, and that's where you get your word Dalit from, okay? And it means a door. It has several other meanings associated with it, but it can mean the back and forth movement, I want you to recognize that the tent is the main place, okay? It's the main place where everything goes down. But it's the function of everything, okay? So the door helps you to go in and out. I'm going to give you a picture of what a tent looks like, okay? Again, and now this is the tent door, okay? Could you imagine going in and out of that door, that being your tent door? As you notice, they're using all different types of materials, all different types of rugs. They're using sticks. They're using all the things in the environment. That wasn't a spiritual thing for them. It was a very physical thing for them, okay? And that's what I'm trying to get us to understand, is that with this language, there's going to be a lot of functionality, okay? So the Dalet now, as you can see, is both the cursive type and the print type. No change to the definition, the meaning. Finally, we have our last word, which is the hey. Okay, so what does the hey mean? It means behold, as when looking at a great sight. This word can also mean to take a breath or a sigh in awe, because you saw some great sight. And so, again, the Most High had used this word a lot when he says, behold, hene, hene. So that's what the first word for that is, okay? Or the first letter for hene. I want to thank you for taking out the time to, spend this, some of your day with me to go over these, okay? So here's a great picture of what a hey means: to behold, to sigh, to take a breath, like a deep breath, right? A great sigh. It means like a revelation of something that's in awe, how powerful, how majestic. Okay, so if you want to get spiritual, go outside and look at the stars. All right, that's what we got to do. That's the great sight, right? But it's physical. Okay, so here we go. The last and final slide here is what the hey looks like. There's a cursive hey and there's a print hey. I want to thank you for taking the time today to share your day with me, and I say shalom until next time.